Episode 16, The Podcasting. Our hero hosts boldly talk about the sacredest of cows in hopes of not alienating fans, losing stars, likes, and subscribers. Join us now as we talk to Dan Tween and Matt's Too Far. David, take us to ludicrous speed. Everybody.
Well, hello, everyone.
Welcome to the final episode of the season.
Guys, we did it.
Fan fiction.
We got a whole flipping season of Matt and I hanging out in the basement talking about video games.
Drinking various things.
And mostly coffee.
Mostly coffee lately.
It has been. We have been fairly coffee focused as of late. But what do we put in the coffee?
Honey.
It's a little bit of tea, a little bit of a lemon. It's really been quite delicious.
Delicious.
All right, guys. Well, first of all, before we even get into the, first of all, Matt, beautiful introduction.
Thank you. That
was a little cheers clink. Very nice. Before we get into the episode, I just want to take a moment and I just want to say thank you for everyone who's been here the entire way. Without doing too many shout outs right off in the beginning, but Alex Drury.
Yes.
Dusty, Prindy, Jared. You got any shout outs?
Oh, I got tons. I like to thank my dog Smudge, my wife Jill for the catering. As usual.
Oh my God. 10 out of 10.
Wonderful catering. The various comments I'm getting from our friend Meg Byers.
Oh, Meg Byers. Oh, hello,
a lot of opinions from her.
Okay.
Mostly good.
We have to mention the number one fan, which is Tiffany. Right out of the bat.
Yep.
Number one supporter. So thank you guys. If it wasn't for you, we would not be doing this still. So 10 out of 10 people listen to the show.
Also, shout out to Joe McQueen as well, my brother.
No, let's not.
No,
it's not.
He's terrible.
He knows what he did. So
it's all negative comments from him anyway.
I know. It's really derogatory. Just some real condescending type stuff.
Stuff we can't air.
We'll have him on next season so that way he can air his grievances out loud.
That's actually the theme for season 2 is grievances.
It's like fan fiction 2, what Joe didn't like about season 1.
General
that's
Grievous.
The entire. Oh, hello there.
Oh. That's a reference.
See what I did there? That's because we're Star Wars. Anyways,
yeah, if you couldn't tell,
we're knocking it out. The last episode's got to be something near and dear to our hearts,
right?
And it's Star Wars, right?
Yeah,
it's the one I think franchise that we've probably spent the most time, positive and negative, talking about.
Yeah, I would say so. Because you and I spent a lot of our time playing a couple of them in particular.
I think one
in particular.
One gets the number one mention.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. You know what it is.
But there's some other runner-ups too.
Hitting the microphone. Matt, we're 16 episodes in, and you wail your arms about it. Now it's going to sound all weird.
I like to flail.
I am a very hands-based communicator. That's why I went into podcasting.
That's right. But people couldn't see my face because it's not pretty. I needed something.
I'm a flailer, okay? It's who I am as a person.
Beep boop flail.
Beep boop boop. You missed it. We had a lot of. We were trying to think about what we're going to do for the intro,
right?
And we there were some real gems that we
I think so too. And we tried to even go some dark routes.
Oh, yep. Yeah,
there was mention of Grogu, the new beloved person of the newer franchise, or spinoff part of the franchise.
I'm still going to call him Baby Yoda. I hate the name Grogu.
It just reminds me of a character from American Dad.
It just feels like
it reminds me of Rogu from American Dad,
or Prego. Isn't that the?
That just makes me think of the food commercial.
Yeah, I like the Italian sauce. Prego. So anyway, But no, we were talking wouldn't it be cool if there was an episode where he's in his 16-year-old adolescence, rebellious, doesn't want to listen to the Mandalorian anymore kind of thing?
Yeah, and he gets all shut up, Dad.
You would understand me.
But then the twist is you turn around and he's the one animating the armor. His dad, he's been dead for years.
Yeah, because their lifespan is thousands of years. So
you turn around and Mando's not there. It's just the armor that's just animated by the Force via Grogu. And it's really sad. That would be cool. And then at night he cuddles up to it.
Made you have emotions. Gotcha. Take that.
Think about that tonight when you're laying in bed.
And then what was the other one? Oh, we found out that I do terrible R2-D2 impressions.
Yeah, I tried to softball a droid joke in there, but yeah. You keep turning into Mario.
There's Mario-esque elements to it, but he gets electrocuted. Wow! I don't know.
Yikes. So Dan,
I'll keep working on it.
I know we're not going to talk too much about like some of the series in this, but what is your by far least favorite and most favorite out of the video games?
Favorite. Oh, okay, I can answer
Let's just jump right into the...
So I think out of all of the games I've played, my least favorite is Fallen Order. That new one that came out not that long ago. Yeah. It's gorgeous. First of all, don't get me wrong. And the beginning level I loved. You're this dude and like the graphics are really great and the lightsaber controls aren't too bad. And you run down, you take you're on a train. So it's like straight and narrow,
right?
Shoot block the lightsaber or block the blasters with the lightsaber.
The classic.
And I was like, oh, this is fine. But then I got to the first or second planet and in my opinion, it just came to this grinding halt where I was just like, I don't think I care. And
you just stopped caring.
Well, yeah. And it's weird because I've never had a game where I was just like, I killed a stormtrooper. I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'd rather fold laundry than continue this.
Did you have a moral conundrum?
No, it wasn't even that. It's in the voice acting's fine. I'm like, I wish I could tell you there was something that pump the brakes. I didn't, but maybe I went to this one planet. So one of my biggest pet peeves in video games, and I understand why it's in video games, is where you go to a level or something and you experience something that you can't get to yet. Yep. And you got to go to do something and you got to come back. I'm looking at you, God of War, Ragnarok.
Man, they love doing that.
Man, oh man, that really irked me in that game because that was every level.
Here's
was
the carrot.
Yeah, you got to come back later.
Come on.
Try 100% everything. You just got to come back 73 times. Uh-oh. Matt just pooped a marker. Write that down. That's a phrase for the night. Matt pooped a marker. But so I went to this planet on the Star Wars game, and it kept on telling me to use force powers I didn't have yet. And it was move the ball. And I was like, I can't. I have no idea what to do. Yeah. And so I don't know if I'm supposed to pass it or if I shouldn't have gone to this planet first. And instead of doing all the research, I just put the game up and never played it again.
Now, I haven't played this one. Is this...
Plus, it was hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the first planet, you run into a big frog-like thing, and man, it destroyed me 1,000 times in a row. And I'm not great at video games, but I don't die on the first planet. And that friggin' frog, man.
I was gonna say the way you make it sound, it almost reminds me of another game that I played a lot called Brave Fencer Musashi for PlayStation 1.
Sure.
And that one, yeah, you go to an area and you'd be like, oh, I don't have this scroll or whatever to get through this area to do this, whatever power or ability. Yeah. And you had to go back later. They did that constantly in that series.
And so I don't know, out of all the games I've played, I have played numerous times over and over again. And I've at least had an urge with the story to figure out where they're going. And in this one, I was just like, oh, I just don't think I'm going to play this. I'm out. I'm done. And about every 6 months, I'll be looking for a video game to play. I'll pop it in. I'll start from the beginning, play that opening train
scene. You remember the frog.
And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I get to that frog and I die 1,000 times. I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Nope.
I'm out. I mean, there's a cute little robot guy who sits on your shoulder and he shoots your life packs.
Oh,
you get to customize your lightsaber. It has a whole bunch of cool things in it.
Kind of reminds me of Eddie Flip Top from Mega Man.
It just could not hold my attention long enough. And I know some people who love it. And the new one was just announced, I think today actually, that in March, the Jedi Survivor or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Same guy, like I said, great voice actor. They used his likeness for it.
I was going to say these games never lack in certain departments like voice acting, music, visuals. Those have always, even with the older ones, even though they're outdated, they were still fine for their time.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes the gameplay's just a little.
But that's my least. What's your least? What's your bottom of the barrel?
My bottom of the barrel, and it's I get it. Some people love it, some don't. But the MMO, the Knights of the Old Republic MMO they had for a while.
Knights of the Old Republic MMO?
Well, it was based in that time frame.
Oh,
I can't remember the exact title of it because I only played it for a couple months.
Was this the one that when the trailer dropped, everyone lost their minds?
Yes.
Because it was 1,000 red lightsabers showed up and everyone's like, oh my God.
You remember?
Oh, okay.
You remember?
I do remember the trailer being a big deal.
Oh, I mean, it was a big deal. And it's kind of fun, but I had just gotten off the World of Warcraft thing. Sure. And I played the DC MMO as well.
We played the Legends one for a while.
Yeah.
Or DC Online or
DC
whatever
Online, I think it was called. Yeah. That one was fun.
It's
And it was
fun.
something new and fresh. And this, I felt like I was just going back to like World of Warcraft a little bit. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
eh,
didn't have too much of its own feel to it.
not really. And I know some people love it and some don't, but like,
Is it still going? Is it still like
you know,
are the servers live?
I don't know if it is. I think it is. I want to say it is.
Because I know the Lord of the Rings one just shut down not that long.
Well, that
ago.
one went free to play, and then that's usually kind of like the death throes.
That's the death rattle. Like, oh,
The death rattle's free to play, and then like eventually,
whap.
I want to say they're in the free to play. I'd have to look it up.
I have
but,
no idea.
yeah. I just remember I was like, you know what? I get it, but too much work.
Those are our straight up bottom of the barrels. Then
To me, yeah.
any honorable mentions?
In the bottom or the
Yeah,
top?
no. Before we really
In the bottom, I would say I know a lot of people liked it because it was the first of its kind, but like that, I think it was called Dark Forces. It was the precursor to all the other flight simulator ones.
yeah,
It was fun for what it was, but kind of lacked in the story and everything else department. But you know, it was dated. It
Yeah.
was just something for its time.
I just completely forgot and just rememred all of the the Jedi Academy games.
Yeah, Jedi Academy.
Oh, those were fun.
Those were fun.
Damn, I really enjoyed those.
Those
Oh.
were really good.
Okay, no. Other bottom of the barrel ones that I want to mention that you know what? Actually, I really feel like Star Wars did a decent job across the board.
That's the thing. Like they really
Like,
did. Like over.
there weren't a lot of bad ones, and even the one
Nah.
I think is bad is like other people's favorite. That's just my opinion on it. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's why I said Sacred Cow in the beginning because
Somebody's gonna get
somebody's
upset
gonna get
about
upset.
this.
But here's, like I said, the MMO. If you were into it, cool. I mean,
Right.
the story was fine.
All right, Matt.
It was
What's
just
middle
the
ground?
gameplay.
Before we get top, let's ladder this.
Ooh,
What's
boy,
middle ground?
Middle ground. Oh man,
One game that you like was, hey, that was a good game. What's good? And then we'll go up to
Rogue
great.
Squadron. That
Rogue
was
Squadron
really
for
good.
64.
Yeah,
that was fun.
It's a really good one.
You know, I'm on like the sound of the laser, the sound effects on those games alone. Like there's no other franchise that has so many iconic,
Oh yeah,
just like and like Darth Vader's and like
yeah. I mean, everything just kind of hits you in the right place with the
the only
sounds.
thing that I think is it's not comparable. That would be a decent second place sound effects wise would be Ghostbusters though.
Yeah,
Like the proton pack turning
That one did
on,
it,
the
yeah.
proton screen, or like that had a lot of
for
really
me, it would be
iconic-
Bloodborne with all the screaming and the howling and the.
Matt, so that's just screaming. that's just
When you hear that cleric beast scream in the distance, and you're like, "Hey, I remember."
I'm gonna die soon. Like,
Oh, that's right.
oh, that's right. I died here 1,000 times.
Dan, all you got to do is dip, dodge, dive.
Yeah, all you gotta do
Duck
is die so many times your fingers have muscle memory of what to do.
I
Like,
mean,
shut
pretty
your brain
much.
off and just let your fingers do it. Whew.
I mean, also another middle ground one was that bounty hunter one. I can't remember where it was, but like you got to play as the bounty hunters.
Nope, got
I
nothing.
think it was another 64 one. I could be
Sure.
wrong.
I really liked Republic Commando. You ever play that one?
Yeah, that was a
That was
really
a
good
cool
one.
I want to bring up two
Okay.
that are going to go under the radar, but I spent hours on this one. And number one is pod racing for
Yep.
Nintendo
I recall that
64.
one.
Shout out to Kelly, my sister. So growing up, I was the video game person. Kelly really didn't care. You know, we were 18 months apart, and just video games weren't her thing. She had other stuff to do. Cool. So
Like
most of the
make
time,
friends.
like have friends. Ugh. But like, so I mostly, if I was going to go rent a video game, I had to make sure it was one player game because
Right.
I knew Kelly was not going to come down, and like every once in a while she'd humor me for like an hour, and then she's like, "This is dumb, I'm gone." And so I got the Star Wars pod racing because I was a big Star Wars person, and I was like, "Oh, it's 2 players too, so if Kelly wants to come play with me," and like
wait, not judge.
secretly, I was like, I'm going to ask her to play so I can kick her ass senseless, right? Because I'm the video gamer here, Matt. She is a freaking genius child. She picked up that controller and decimated me every time.
Some people are prodigies.
Just remember going like, she's like, "Oh, I win." I was like, I'm in lap 2 and I've been practicing. Like,
I had a similar experience.
she just shot out the park. The controls
Ooh, wow.
felt right for her. I was like, all right, Kelly.
all right, game on.
All right, you're done. Leave, Kelly. I don't need you anymore.
I had a similar
I was
experience.
even Sebulba. Like, I put in the
Really?
cheat code. And she was
Cheater,
Timto
cheater.
Plagueis, okay? And let's go. Anyways.
It's sad when you cheat and still lose.
Yep. It was very sad.
But
it was sad.
I had a similar experience with I'm sure you know our friend Danielle Blake.
Oh, hey. Shout out to
Danielle Blake. But I remember she came over one time in high school to play Soul Calibur with me. And I was like, I'm really good at fighting games. Because, you know, I am.
God, you are.
She beat me a lot. And I was like,
really?
oh, man, she mopped the floor with me. And I'm like, Where did all this secret crap come from?
And like she just goes home and she like plays
Yeah.
for hours on end just to
Maybe, I don't know.
just to show you up.
Like I know Danielle plays a lot of games, but
Yeah.
I was like, are you secretly playing Soul Calibur behind my back?
Like you got to tell me. I need to know.
I know. I went to bed just staring at the ceiling.
This is my identity right
what
now.
happened, Matt? You're out of your game.
So that was a great one. I also sticking with the racing realm. When my brother-in-law had a PlayStation 2 before any of us did, so like it was the key, like go play the PlayStation over at Jason's house,
Go
right?
play the PlayStation.
And he had a bunch of weird kind of random games, and I remember one of them was Super Bombad Racing,
Yes.
which was just like small ship, giant head,
I remember that.
cartoon racing.
What a silly game.
And it's like, but I loved it. It was just so
No, it was fine.
so pointless and silly and like.
I think that's perfect in the middle tier.
It was like their version of Crash Team Racing. You got the boxes that shoot things, and you got the jumps around, and
they really did set a trend. Like the Mario Kart racing, all that really did set a trend where everybody tried to jump on that.
oh
like,
yeah, every franchise had a racing game.
Yeah.
Jack X had
Sonic,
racing.
all of them.
Sonic. Did he have a car or did he run in the Sonic game?
I want to say he had a car.
That feels odd.
I think it does.
Like,
it
just-
also feels odd when you see them at the Olympics together.
Yeah.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. I'm like, really?
Okay.
Really?
I think Sonic would win 99% of all these.
Right.
Yeah.
Considering
Unless-
most of speed.
Unless plumbing became an Olympic sport, like Sonic should be winning all of these.
Jumping on turtles, go.
Go.
I save animals.
And he still messes up. He gets caught for doping. It's like, Mario, you're out. We found calzones in your.
he's just snorting mushrooms in the bath.
You're out. Why? Mario, you're 75 foot tall. Okay. Like,
What do you mean?
no, because he's like all slow and large like Ant-Man. Like, no, I'm not. Okay. Anyways, but no, those are my two mids. Those
Okay.
I got some good mids.
I would say so.
You
Yeah.
got another mid, or should we jump?
I'd say the top of the mids for me would be the RTS one, the Battlegrounds.
Battle
right at the cusp.
Battlegrounds.
Battleground. I believe that's
Battleground. Ooh,
it was a very bland name. I remember that.
It was
either Battleground, something like that. Anyway,
3 out of 10.
it was fun.
10 out of 10,
It was a good time killer.
Mm-hmm.
Just not as great as the top.
Sure, but like the one thing I loved about it is like that was my introduction to RTS.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's right.
if it wasn't for Star Wars teaching me about map creator, because remember you could do like Bespin, where you could do like Naboo, like you do Tatooine, like you got all of the different areas, and like it just took what Sid Meier's had been doing for such a long time and like slapped the Star Wars
And
stickers on
Blizzard
all
and
of it.
everybody else.
And I was just like, oh, this is awesome. Like, and then because I got so good at that game, it was easy for me to like find other games in that vein and succeed with them.
well, and the sci-fi aspect of it too fit very akin to StarCraft. However,
StarCraft. Yeah.
However,
absolutely.
the lore of like Star Wars and the armies and stuff, it just felt really nice because they were so different.
Yeah, but like if you didn't play story mode, because a lot of times I would just do like random enemy.
I mean,
versus
even random,
enemy.
sure, but like, I mean, just the choices, they were so different. They felt nice.
I just remember I would play like the Separatist army, and it's like,
Yeah.
please let me find out that I have to kill the Gungans. Like I secret was like, please let them be the bad guys, because nothing felt greater than just mowing down a whole field of Gungans.
I want you to remember that
Ugh.
because we're going to talk about that later.
Oh, mowing down.
Well, the Gungan mowing down specifically.
Do you remember the cheat code?
Oh, I remember what it does. I don't remember the code.
Oh, Simon Says. I think it's
That's right.
SEZ or something like that. Simon Says for Simon the Killer Ewok.
Yep, the most just disgusting
Broken.
unit. Yeah.
I just remember like I would play the game because you could just, and I would just have him and I would just send him off.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what you
I'd
had to do.
just, like, go do your thing, and then I would play the game normally, and I was like, I would build my thing, and all of a sudden I would just like, I told myself I wouldn't check on him for 15 minutes. I would just let him go.
He's got
for
15 minutes.
And then I would be like, hey, where's he at? And it's like, you've won. He's destroyed the entire map. It's like, oh God.
Simon's efficient.
Oh yeah. He's a straight up murderer. So
Whew.
yeah. Shout outs to Simon, wherever you are digitally.
Lost in the DOS.
Lost in the dust. I like it. All right.
Shall we get to the top?
I mean, we all know what it is.
What's that?
The top. I mean, it's very well. No, I think we have different tops.
I think we have different tops.
Do your top first.
Well,
You're a better top than I am.
So second place for me. I see what you did there.
I don't know what you're talking about. Move on.
Second place for me is you're probably number one, which is
It's Battlefront 2.
Battlefront.
2.
Yeah, 2.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
The greatest Star Wars. Not well, we should be specific.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 Battlefront 2, because remember they did the
Yep.
remake of Battlefront 1 and 2 where the loot box thing completely destroyed the entirety.
Yeah, that was
integrity,
Battlefront 3 did that. And
or
you had to-
whatever.
yeah.
One of them, I just remember it was
Well,
like,
they re-established them for PC and other things, but
Sure.
then like Battlefront 3 is where it's like, well, now you got to pay for all your heroes.
it's
Now
like you
gotta
had
pay
to
the
play
loot
for
boxes.
like 78 hours straight just to
Yeah.
be able to possibly unlock. And I
It's
don't know,
ridiculous.
this can't be, this isn't accurate, but it was something ridiculous. Like in order to unlock Darth Vader, it was either like an insane amount of hours to get the in-game currency, and even then it was like a chance to get it.
Like the
something of
minute
that
you
degree.
told me I had to pay to unlock everything, and
Yeah.
like it wasn't just play and unlock, I was
No.
like, okay,
Like, listen, gamers, like
yeah,
I should be able to get everything in game. Like I should not have to pay for anything.
like nothing's more
I shouldn't
enjoyable than
have to.
unlocking things within its own
Yeah.
game.
And like, don't get me wrong, I still think you should be able to play to, or pay to win. For the people who want to get in there and get the best stuff, sure.
well,
Make your money.
Yeah.
I get it for like,
Well, and Battlegrounds is beautiful like that because like, or Battlegrounds.
yeah,
Bleh. Anyway,
you're doing
Uh,
great.
doing
You're
wonderful.
doing great, man.
It's still more skill based than it is pay based.
Yeah.
Like Battlefront, like you still had to be good at
Oh,
shooting.
yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like,
Ugh.
or
And, like,
whatever class you were playing.
Did you ever switch class? Because I never
the
did.
time.
Oh, see,
See, here's the thing. It depends. If we were already, if the battle was in the mid, like everybody was still holding like certain points,
Mhm.
or if you had a huge advantage, I would switch to sniper. I can sit in the back, not do anything. If we were losing, shotgun, let's go.
Oh, see, like if I was playing on
or
PC,
soldier.
if I was playing on PC and I had the mouse, then I would snipe because it's hard.
it's
a
hard
little
to snipe
harder
with
for
a
me to
controller.
snipe on the controller. But like I got so good with just assault rifle.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
just
assault
the
rifle's
main
just
guy.
fine.
And then you get frenzy, so you'd R2 or R1, and then like switch out. So you had to like doo. Oh man, and then you get War Hero, and then you'd have to let yourself die
Yeah.
because you wanted to see how many times you could get War Hero in a row.
So, question for you: did you pick Rebellion more or Empire?
I usually, you know me, I have a thing for the good guys, so I think
See,
I did.
I love the Empire.
but I love playing as stormtroopers
love
and
playing
clone
as
troopers.
stormtroopers.
It just felt cooler. Like I don't know why.
And I always love playing as the jetpack a lot too. I
Oh,
love
the jetpack was fun.
Yeah, like the
I do have to admit the one
Jet
thing
troopers.
that always super bugged me, and anyone who played the game I think can relate to this, where like you're losing, right? And it says you have one person left.
yeah.
And there was like 14, 15, 50. Like, let me play until I'm dead.
Yeah.
Because remember how it would go down to 0, and even if you had not died, it said defeated.
Right. I'm
And
like,
it was
why
just-
can't I be the last
Yeah, like
one?
no. Let me see if I can take out 53 people by myself.
Sure, and you can do it sometimes.
Oh yeah, like,
Depending on the map and if you
Mhm.
got grenades, absolutely.
or maybe maybe put a time limit on it so that way
Sure.
But like, don't ever just call me a loser when I still got my one guy left
Yeah,
alive.
when I've been sitting
I
there,
used
yeah.
to get so furious.
I always hated that too.
I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, let the other ones go. Let me have a Rambo moment. Like,
Oh yeah.
come on.
So that's without a doubt my number one. Oh,
and
without a
speaking
doubt,
again to
that's
your
my
number one, back to the pinpoint I put earlier with the Gungan thing.
The Gungan.
That's why I loved playing Empire. Just
just
those-
taking them out.
just taking out the Gungans.
Oh yeah. God, those are so fun.
I will say though, playing on the rebel
You're
side,
gonna hit the microphone. I'm letting you know.
I'm not
I can
gonna hit the
see.
microphone.
I can see your hand, and you're starting to do the whole pointy thing. And I'm just in the
I'm
back of
gonna
my mind.
I'm
I'm like, he's
punch
gonna
it.
hit the
I'm
damn
gonna-
microphone
I'm gonna
again.
punch it.
Okay, I'm gonna punch it.
But no, playing for the rebellion though, I gotta say, playing as a Bothan spy is still one of the most enjoyable.
Really, the
Just
Bothan spy.
cloaking, going to the back line, taking a base.
I
It's
think
hilarious.
I have to say that the come on, brain. The story mode was phenomenal.
where
where
story
you
mode's
start as the
great.
clone, and it's the voice of Jango Fett.
Yep.
And so and then that part where you transition out, I think it's like you play Genosha or
Mhm.
something, and then it's like, and then 15 years had
Good
passed.
impression.
Thank you. And he's like, and then now I'm in
then-
my own head. You
and
should just let
then
me go.
Vader
And-
came.
well, yeah. Well, he says something. He's like, and then we started taking all the other bloods, and we didn't like the DNA got mixed with some other smugglers, and we weren't as good anymore.
Yeah.
And so that was their like description of like why when you see somebody take their helmet off in Star Wars, why it's
Right.
not
Yeah.
all Jango
Yeah.
Fett or that actor. Yeah.
And then and then eventually like the group you're with turns into Vader's elite
and
troop.
then you do Tantive 4.
Oh man.
Oh, I love Tantive 4. That's my favorite
I just love the
level.
fact that you're focused as like you're an underling. I love it.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
the whole premise of
Well,
it.
and I love that you're supposed to die 2 or 3 times. It's
Sure,
like,
yeah.
It's like, and go. Oh, 4 thermal detonators, and your body just ragdolls around the
like
room.
I said, certain maps, man, they will just get you
Find Princess Leia and shoot her.
in
Like,
the face.
This seems dramatic, but okay.
Shoot the princess.
Oh, man. God, we got to find that game.
We really do.
Matt, okay, and I know we're talking about Star Wars, but like out of all the games we've previously talked about, 16 episodes, countless games,
Yes.
which one, like if I could find one, which one are you and I going to sit down and play next weekend?
Oh,
If
Battlefront.
You want to do Battlefront?
Battlefront 2, if you can find it.
I still think Legends needs to be up there.
It does. That is
X-Men
a really
Legends
good one.
need to be up there with like something we just sit down and replay.
Oh yeah, if we're talking any game, yeah, that I would love to play Legends again. If you can find it like on the PlayStation Store or something.
Well, and that's, dude, I keep on looking.
That's
Some
the
of these
thing.
games are like lost in limbo.
They really
now.
are.
Like until like somebody wants to like pay for it to be ported, or because I keep checking the Switch, like maybe
I
like,
check all the time, man, on the PlayStation Store. I still can't find.
and I wonder if it's like maybe the software company went bankrupt and
You know, it could be no,
X-Men
number of
has to
things.
own the rights. You know what I mean? Like someone's got to own the
Disney's
master.
just holding it up. They're like,
Disney
"Oh, no."
doesn't have.
I don't know, I'm just-
X-Men. I don't like.
They
it's
got
weird
Marvel.
now. They got Marvel, but I think
well,
there's
that's
still,
half
like,
the. Well, you got to remember though, the whole cast of Legends, the X-Men thing. Like, it's more than just the X-Men. It's like
I mean, but they're in
Ghost
Ultimate,
Rider.
Yeah, but it's
everybody.
like Ultimate Alliance was gorgeous, and they
Ultimate
have
Alliance
like
is gorgeous.
90% of that.
an event. Yeah, they got 90% of the Avengers and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. Replay value. I think it'd be the funnest to play Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
And then we'd touch Legends afterwards.
Absolutely. Let's do
That's
it.
a weekend. Oh, that's a weekend.
Well, we got that in our planner for down the road.
Come on down, listeners. We're gonna be at Matt's house all weekend.
Listen
long.
to Dan and Matt curse at the TV.
This is bullshit.
Another dead night.
I just talked this game up and I'm losing again.
I open the door and I'm dead.
Home of the throne controller. Anyway, so no, you're going to talk about your number one
My
Star
number
Wars
one, Knights of the Old Republic.
game. Coder.
The whole series is just
Coder.
all those games beautifully done.
Mm-hmm. That's Darth
I got-
Darth Revan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
No
Everyone
spoilers.
wants Keanu Reeves to play him, right? You
I
know
could
that,
see-
right?
that's
That's his
fine.
big thing.
You could literally get anybody to play him. It's fine.
Too bad it didn't happen.
No.
Because J.J. Abrams done said no.
Because you know why? It's too dark and spooky.
Of course it is.
Because it's like set 1,000 years before like Phantom Menace.
Here's a good question for you. And I know
Yes.
I know it's video game centric, but we're gonna go all over the place with this because
Oh,
it's
no.
Star Wars, and this episode's gonna run.
Wars.
This episode's gonna run long anyway, so may as well enjoy it.
Wars.
What is your biggest miss, or like that they retcon that you wish they wouldn't have?
Oh, the midichlorian thing.
You what? No retcon. No, that's in there. Unfortunately, that hasn't been retconned.
Retcon.
We just don't talk about it.
Get rid of
What
it.
was the biggest like out of all of the lore, like that
Hmm.
they just decided to stamp out of existence?
Oh, probably all the extended universe with the books and everything.
Yeah, that was
When they got rid of all the book material, which was beautiful.
Ugh. Do you have a book series that was your favorite?
None particular, no. I just kind of
I gotta-
I read them randomly. I didn't really
Shout outs to I think it was Young Jedi Academy.
Yeah. was a really
And
good
it was Jason and Jana. And
Jason and Jana, yeah.
I think that's that whole arc that happened with those two.
Man, yeah,
and
they
how
just
good it got.
so good.
And like, don't get me wrong, when we're talking about the new movies, I actually am a fan of Kylo Ren. Like, I think his anger, like I really like the portrayal of him. I think he was written really, really well.
Like, here's the thing. The characters are fine. It's just the writing. The acting's fine. The directions they make the characters go are el terrible.
I would, as much as I love Kylo Ren, I would give him up in a heartbeat to get Jason and Jana as
I'd give up all
as
of them for
Han
that,
and
yeah.
Leia's kids. And like, because not only
Absolutely.
that, whenever you have them, then you got to see Luke be the real teacher.
Right.
And not this movie thing where, I mean, I guess Mandalorian's trying right now to bring Luke back as like teaching Grogu, and like he did
Sure.
have the Jedi temple, but like,
Which
I
makes
mean-
us believe Luke or Kylo killed Grogu then?
I don't think Grogu's dead, right?
I don't know.
Why would Grogu be dead?
Because didn't Kylo Ren like just destroy all the school and everything? And
No, I mean the Knights of Ren, which were cool, but
man,
like-
remember when I tried to tell you
Oh,
that?
this is a great story,
Oh.
Matt. Go ahead and tell this one.
Like when they were talking about the new trilogy, I was like, "Oh man, if they bring in Kylo Ren, they're gonna have the Knights of Ren, and it's gonna be this big cool thing."
Do you remember? It was right when Rogue One.
Yep.
because you remember we were like, Dan, look, I read
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing, and Rogue One, like it was the blind guy, the heavy tank, like
Well, that's the thing. Like, I was on a bunch of
the
message
spy
boards,
guy,
and, like,
yeah.
everybody was talking. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, holy crap, they're right. If they bring in the Knights of Ren, that'll be really awesome.
Because you had the belief that
because
all of the characters
they had it perfectly set up.
all of the characters who were introduced in Rogue One,
All these throwaways that nobody really knew.
believed that they were going to get captured,
right,
brainwashed, and then those characters then would be the Knights of Ren
because they were such good characters.
Well,
like,
they were good.
They all had their specialty.
They had like a parallel. Like if you saw the Knights of Ren, there was the tank character, the samurai character, and I was like, Matt, and I remember in the car going, Matt, that's too good of an idea. There's no way Disney's going to do that. And he's like, no, it's a great idea. I was like, no, I'm not arguing. It's a fantastic idea. It's too dark. And there's no, I was like, $10, they all die at this movie and we never hear about them again.
Yep.
And outside of Andor, that's exactly what happened. And
Dan was right.
Buy me some hash browns.
But no, speaking of cool twists like that.
Cool twists.
That's all Knights of the Old Republic is, by the way.
Just twists?
Awesome twists.
What a twist.
If you can think of something amazing and fantastic like that, like Knights of Ren and stuff, it happens in the Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah.
It is such a well-written...
You mean the video game that never happened?
What?
Never.
Oh, right, because
happened.
No, that happened
it's
in the
all
Disney
fantasy
verse.
realm.
That does make me so mad.
I heard that at the very end of it now, they had to add one special scene, and it's the end scene where Mario wakes up, and it's all been a dream the entire
Super Mario Brothers 2.
See what I did? I'm bringing other games back. I'm bringing it all together for the finale.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream the entire time.
Nice.
But I mean, Star Wars. I think it's just because that was ours as a kid.
Right. And even growing up, I mean, I'm sure you played them, the Super Nintendo version.
Oh, yep.
Literally just playing through the movie with extra scenes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just like, God, that book series though, not to harp back on it again, but like, I remember having a crush on Tenel K.
Whoa.
I know. She was like the wildling of that planet. Her arm got blown off because she rushed through with a kyber crystal, and then she was still so free. Man. And then Weebaka, I think it was like Chewbacca's nephew.
Something like that, yeah.
And then if you follow it, it gets so dark. Like I think Jason turns to the dark side.
Seriously, go read the books if you haven't.
Go read all of those books right now. You will not
kyber crystals. Actually, Knights of the Republic, once again, they go deep into that too.
Speaking, if you really want a really awesome kyber crystal story, our friends over at Studio Demands It, they have a podcast about if they had to make a new Star Wars episode. I think episode, would it be 10? Probably, so they're in charge of the next 3.
And it's all about healing through crystals.
Yeah, it's like where to put them on your body and how to just like get the flow, the chi.
That's right. Get the cheese going. Get the force midichlorians grow.
Studio Demands It has a really, really awesome episode that centers around like the Kyber Wars. I think that's what they call it, because it's all about like finding the crystals, and that becomes the new MacGuffin. Not MacGuffin, but like
kind of like a limited resource that fuel. Yeah.
If you guys are bored, Studio Demands It. Great podcast from our
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
And bring your pitchforks. Yeah. Go get them.
Put some respect on it. I have no idea. I'm just. I don't. Shut up.
Sounds like a mobster thing.
Yeah. See.
Put some respect on it.
Tell him who sent you.
Tell him Dan.
Tell him
Dan Tween sent you.
Tell him it was me. That's me going Game of Thrones.
Sounds like you were at Pepperidge Farms.
It was me. I killed her son.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, Queen of Thorns. Loved you.
Oh, seriously.
Dame Diana Rigg. R.I.P.
She was great.
Loved it. Dude, everyone in Game of Thrones was great.
Yeah. I mean, same with
everyone in Game of Thrones.
And that's the thing. Like I was saying about the new trilogy.
Both mountains. All 3 mountains. all three
mountains. They all did great.
The middle mountain was a little forgettable.
Yeah.
Randy Savage, the first mountain, was dope. And then the unnecessarily weird tall one.
Yeah.
And then we got like half Thor.
That
Bjorn.
was strange. Half Thor was great.
No, that dude was great. You think for auditions, they're like, we need you to yell. And he's like, oh, they're like, you got the part.
I do that in the gym every day.
That's all you got to do. Just keep on being 9 foot tall.
And a monster.
You got it.
Keep being this monster of a man.
Being a huge, huge human. Yes. And you got the part.
He's awesome.
He is awesome. Okay, so Star Wars though.
Yeah, back
to Star Wars.
Back to the War of Stars.
Yeah. I'm so mad they never say Star Wars in Star Wars though. You ever think Luke's like, gosh, there's just so many Star Wars out there? Did they ever say Star Trek and Star Trek?
I think you're right. I don't think they do.
It's like, man, this Star Trek has been taking a while. Like,
actually, it would fit more in Star Trek than it would anything else. Like,
I don't know.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Call
eventually.
your dad. See if they ever said that in Star Trek.
Dad would say things like, "Oh, Star Trek would never lower itself to that silliness of a thing. They don't even. It was barely a trek. It was an exploration." And I'm sorry, Dad. This is a terrible impression of you. Please don't think.
But
you sound
his
like
dad
this.
does love Star Trek. So
Yep. I remember we already told him the story about when my dad was just like, Star Wars is cowboys and Indians in outer space.
I don't know if we did or not, but
Star
man,
Trek.
that is my favorite argument
Star
I've ever
Trek
seen you two have.
Star Trek is a beautiful view of the future and everything that it could be if we all band together. It's
Just band together as humanity.
I was like, Dad, I'm 12.
I'm 12 and I want to go to the
Dad,
grocery store.
I just want to go watch Star Wars.
Oh, good
Yeah.
times.
What else? Star Wars.
So you asked me what I would retcon. How about you? Is it also the book series?
Oh, the book series, definitely. If I had to be more specific outside of the book series, though, I just think they did Luke dirty in
They
those
really did.
movies. Like, Luke is everyone has a chosen one. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has their franchise hero. We grew up, and for us, it's Luke. Luke is he brought balance to the Force, even though it was.
Oh, mine was Vader. I always loved Vader.
Okay. You know, it's like Vader.
I love Vader.
Shout outs to Matt Hubin.
Yeah,
we didn't bring him up, but if you want to talk about somebody who loves Vader, you got to bring up
You
Hubin.
mean another Matt who's correct?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you Matts flock together. You
I can't help it. He's a great character.
atrocitus loving Vader.
I'm sorry, Matt Hubin has good taste.
Renegade jerks. That's what I'm going to call you. I like my body. Like,
Look,
could
I
not
can't
let me
help it.
finish
The
that sentence.
Empire employed a bunch of people, gave planets structure.
Okay. Okay, it's just we don't have enough time to get into.
we really
this.
don't.
I told you Star Wars was going to take forever.
It really was.
It's going to be
Now,
a
Dan,
XL episode.
Speaking specifically about the video games.
Okay,
what would
the
you
video games. The video games.
What would you retcon about the movie video games, the Super Nintendo series, the one we haven't really touched upon too much?
I think
The classic that I think everybody listening has probably seen, played,
the
or
one
touched.
thing I would cut
Oh.
was the fact that according to the video games, there was a giant lava monster in the
yeah.
Jawas like
Inside their sandcrawler.
in Sandcrawler. It's like you think it's just a hotel for Jawas, but no, there is
I
a
forgot
lava
about
demon that sits in there and wants to kill you.
They do have a lot of weird stuff.
And I thought it was so weird. Like, even it's like you run into the Jawas who are instantly villains, which I think is a little.
They're just
Like,
weird merchants who
yeah.
rob you every once in a while.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's like, oh, they robbed me. Time to kill everyone in the entire
Take that,
Sandcrawler.
Jabba moving castle.
And I think it's, you did it. Like, as you kill them all.
It's actually them screaming, no!
It's like, peace. Like,
Peace.
we're so sorry.
Peace among species!
You get a 50% off coupon.
He's just handing out Black Friday
He's
flyers.
like, what are they saying? Looks like I don't speak that language. I just decided to kill them all. But I would say I would take away the giant.
It's just a giant goodwill in there.
Lava monster sitting at the. Oh God!
We were just spreading the goodwill.
These were all charity
They were all
donations.
charity donations.
We were going off planet. Oh, that's funny. What about you? What are you retconning?
Oh man, probably the whole land speeder levels in all of them.
Really?
They were so boring, and I didn't need them.
That's fair.
Because like in the third, I think in Return of the Jedi specifically, you start on that one, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I think
Just
they
get
just
me to the-
mastered that mechanic, like
Yeah.
the weird
three
kind of
dimensional
3D
jump,
up,
but not
down.
really. Yeah, just skip that crap.
That's
Just get me
fine.
right to the story. I don't need that. I'm here to play as like Leia in the bounty hunter attire with a spear, or Han, or Luke. Like I don't care about the land speeders.
Yeah.
The,
I
the
think
ships
those
are
games,
fine.
Those games were fine, but they're kind of forgettable in my opinion.
They really are.
Like a lot of things in the Super Nintendo, they were fun when they were the only thing to play.
Right.
But I think when it goes back, like
they will not be remembered
it's
as the top of
they're not going to be
Super
the top
Nintendo
of it, you know.
tier.
And if they are ranked highly, it's only because of nostalgia.
They're no Final Fantasy VI.
Anyone who goes back and replays it is going to go like 20 minutes in and goes like, "Well, this I don't want to play this anymore."
Well, it took me 25 minutes to beat it, but
Yep, done, next.
I mean, they were pretty hard. But
Oh man, what other we're already 40 minutes into this bad
oh
boy.
my goodness!
Including the intro, which we killed the very
Killed
first
it.
time. That's the first take, right?
I only
there.
do one take.
One take.
That's a lie.
Man, I have recordings of numerous takes right off the bat.
Actually, it's funny. We're really hit or miss with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we nail it. Sometimes it takes an hour.
The intro to the Halloween episode took us like 45 minutes, and it's still like the worst thing we've ever done.
Oh well. There's more to come. The worst one so far.
So far. Because we were renewed for season 2, you jerks.
Hooray!
We did it.
We did.
We did it. Star Wars is cool, though. So that's nice.
I like the Star Wars as well, Dan.
I don't know, but don't you think, like, with the movies nowadays, it really takes a lot of wind out of the sails?
Kind of does.
Like, I love talking about previous stuff, but I feel like I'm just so negative on the new ones that it's hard for me to, like, I want to speak positively about it. I want to talk about how much I like things, but I walk out of the movie going, okay.
It's because Disney keeps watering down everything, and it's not letting it just be itself.
Well, and they're too eager, like, to
catch,
lather, rinse, repeat, and
they're trying to catch that lightning in a bottle again, and it's like, you're not going to do that.
I do remember watching the first one of the new. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. When like Kylo Ren catches the like the blaster, and I was like, okay,
that was a beautiful moment.
Like it has so many like cool, and like when Kylo Ren like gets mad and he just thrashes, and I was like, okay, we got this.
Remember how
sick new creation?
Do you remember how excited everybody was for the stormtrooper who could block a lightsaber?
And then remember when we thought Gwendolyn Christie, the girl who played the shiny stormtrooper, was gonna have this massive part.
That was the most disappointing.
And then she was just a shiny stormtrooper who kind of was a commander who didn't really do much.
Thank you for fueling my hate again.
Yeah, I know. See again, like I want to talk about positive things,
because like her and Finn, I was like, they're gonna have poor Finn.
Man, that dude had so much promise,
so much potential.
Dropped his character,
and then when he tried to
so hard,
and then when he tried to like honor kill himself at the end for the good of the troops, he gets saved, and I'm like, oh
dude,
no,
he should have been a Jedi
or something
like, oh god,
but man, oh yeah,
I wanted so much for him. And John Boyega, you deserved so much more than what Disney gave you, man.
Seriously.
Shout outs to John Boyega. If you're listening, man, you got 2 fans over here.
Seriously, I felt so bad for Finn. I'm like, man, you could have been so much more. Instead of just side quest the movie.
And I really like Daisy Ridley. I think she did a really good job. Like
I said, I have no problem with any of the actors in that or actresses. They were fine. It's literally just the writing.
Yeah.
Because like you said, shiny new stormtrooper, like I was like, here we go. We're gonna have a cool little lieutenant thing going on.
And I remember I hate watched.
You're more of a gag.
The 1, 2, 3, it's 9. When I finally got around to seeing 9, and
9 jumped around so fast.
9 was like the worst intro, but I feel like they landed it okay. I remember when it was all said and done, I was like, okay, this feels.
Which part was okay? The 10 billion Star Destroyers.
Where he's like, I am the Sith. And then she's like, and I am the Jedi. And then like you heard I thought that was a fun little bring together.
I hated all of the last
I thought
one.
she did a good job.
The pacing of that movie is terrible.
But like, remember the Dothraki horses riding on top of the ship? And I'm like, I was like, we are so out of our Star Wars element at this point.
I was just so confused. I'm like, it felt like when Poland was fighting tanks in World War II.
But that's what happens when you have too much money.
Yeah.
Like, Lucas, when he was doing at least 4, 5, 6, like, they didn't have a lot of.
They had a budget.
Well, and they couldn't do crazy things like that. Yeah. They spent all their money on the models, and so it's like they revolutionized this tech, and like, but you couldn't do horses riding on the. And so
why would you want to? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
And then it's like, well, we can do whatever you want with computers now. So. Yeah. Remember when it's like the assassin dropped the dagger that has the coastline of the like.
You know what my favorite part was?
Ridiculous.
I remember when the horses started walking or stampeding or whatever across all the ships, and there was a stranger next to me in the seat because I was on the end cap, and I looked over. We both caught each other's eye, and we just started laughing. Like we both just had that nice little moment of just clarity of. This is getting stupid.
Or like how many fake out deaths? Remember you thought Chewbacca had blown up and then he was fine.
They gave George R.R. Martin a run for his money with fake out deaths.
Well, and then the other thing that, and I'm still mad they did this, when C-3PO has to upload the Sith code, and he's like, if this happens, like, I'm not going to be the same person. You're going to have to wipe and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's like, deep.
3PO, who has been here the entire time. I was like, we're going to lose him. I was like, okay, I feel like this is a death worth. And he's like, nope, never mind. I'm fine.
Welcome back, friends.
I was like, God dang it, guys. Like, can you please just give me an emotional moment with these guys? Or
like what? When Chewbacca or whatever gets taken away and you're like, oh no,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then it blows up.
Blows up and I'm like, there's no way he lived through that.
Yeah, and he was fine.
I'm fine. Barely an inconvenience.
Like little chafed on the side. We're good.
Just brushes off the dust.
Yeah. Like, Star Wars video games though are good, and I like those too.
Smooth transition.
I'm killing it with these transitions today, man. I really feel like I'm.
I will say though, one of the best moments of all the video games was
all the
Star Wars video games.
All the Star Wars video games.
That final, whenever you had to do like, I've never had so much adrenaline than playing like those final missions in those games, like the old Super Nintendo
way
ones.
more. Oh, Super Nintendo ones. Okay.
Like where you actually had to like fly the Millennium Falcon through the Death Star. Remember that little. Like it was a grid you had to drive through, and it was insanely hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, I'm so close. I know I am. And you had like a little meter showing how close you were.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I have to say, if I had to say my top memory though, is whenever you and I would play against each other.
Oh, in Battlefront.
In Battlefront 2, and then all of a sudden, because if you got so many kills or something like that, it was like
you get medals. Yeah,
you got. Well, remember, it's like. This Jedi is ready.
Yeah.
And it would be like, and you're like, no Jedi.
Yeah.
No one gets to be a Jedi.
Cheating.
It's cheating, and you don't get any awards for it.
Because Jedi could just bounce around, throw stuff. They'd insta kill.
It was like any hero.
Yeah.
Because it was like Han, or we always played. If you had the option, you do not get to play.
Because they have like one-shot kills on the troopers.
Yeah, and they could speed. I remember it was like doing, and you would just massacre like 20 people. And it's like, no. Now
I will say it was more fun when everybody played a hero.
Oh yeah, like everyone's
the
a hero.
Death matches. Those were cool.
Fun. Oh,
like just good. What a beautiful game.
Good times.
Beautiful game.
Star Wars. All right, Matt. I think
we're gonna get to the second half.
I think we're gonna have to get to the second half.
Our own
Star Wars
video game
brought to you by Disney. Which means
I'm gonna spoil
Wolverine's
it for everybody.
Gonna show up halfway through because multiverses are super cool now.
You took my idea already.
I know.
I was gonna make a Kingdom Hearts 3.7 over 5,000 gumdrop, and
I've already made
that
game. Try it again.
And it's gonna be all the Star Wars.
Try
characters.
another title.
Fine.
Do it.
Cut to commercial, and we'll come back to it.
Ugh, you're so whiny. All right, we'll be back.
Hey there, podcast listeners. I am David.
And I'm Kate.
And together we host a podcast that you might be interested in if you like The Legend of Zelda.
There are lots of awesome podcasts out there and a lot of awesome Zelda podcasts out there.
That's right, Kate, and we are another one of them. In fact, that is the name of our show, Another Zelda Podcast.
And in our show in particular, we talk about some of our favorite dungeons, characters, boss battles. We do a couple top 10 lists here and there.
We have some deep dive episodes, and we even pepper in a couple quiz episodes.
We talk about our own experiences. We do some review episodes, talk about our challenges, our struggles, and our victories.
That's right. If it has to do with The Legend of Zelda, we talk about it.
You can check out our episodes on our website, anotherzeldapodcast.com.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and a lot of the other podcast services that are out there.
And you can also check out our episodes on our website, anotherzeldapodcast.com.
All right, we will see you there.
Okay, bye!
Hey everyone, and I just have to make this announcement. For the last time, we're back. I hope you enjoyed the announcements.
Oh, right.
And, Matt has a scone in his mouth.
Oh, what a red.
The most pretentious of all cookies, the
really
scone.
is.
No one just has a scone. They have to have a scone.
Well, I mean, shout outs to Jill again for making a delicious
Shout outs to Jill.
blueberry chocolate scone.
Ooh, okay. That's quit touching the mic.
I had to move it. It wasn't close to my mouth.
God, you'll never learn.
The people at home want to hear the ASMR of me chewing the scone.
That's the blueberry. Oh yeah.
The chocolate is in between my teeth.
Yeah, can you hear my tongue trying to?
That's my tongue picking out the blueberry skin. Oh, yes.
Oh, got it.
Oh,
That was my tongue trying to get his scone out of his teeth. It's really intimate.
That's
here
what
all of a
friends
sudden.
do.
That's where we are. So get on our level.
Yeah, I don't know where your friendship levels.
If you don't have somebody that can try and use their own tongue to get a blueberry out of your back molar, then what are you really doing with life?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tenacious D wrote a song about it.
Find a friend.
Yeah.
Find a real friend.
Agreed.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers.
To friends.
To friends.
All right, so now that weird thing's out of the way, we get to create Matt,
Our
for the
own
last time.
Star Wars game.
For the last time, Matthew.
Oh, goodness. No pressure.
Are you ready to free ball a game with me?
I am ready to make some fiction.
Okay. So do we want to do a game together? Or do we want to have two separate ideas? Do you have one?
We'll do both.
You got one in the hole for me?
I have a joke game that I think would be hilarious, but should never be made.
Sure.
Well, two of those.
Okay, I think I can make one up.
And then I have one that's one that I would actually. We'll start with the one I actually want to see.
Okay.
Since Star Wars is, as a franchise in the video game department at least, has hit every single branch of category.
I mean,
racing,
RTS, mobile, like I mean,
first person shooter, everything.
Got them all.
Pilot training. Like I would love to see one where they mix a few of them together. Like I would love to see one where they actually mix like a Minecraft element.
Oh God!
What?
You know my feelings about Minecraft. I just can't audibly groan whenever I hear about it.
Just the idea of it,
Okay.
mixed with like Battlefront a little bit. I would love to see where you build your own planet and maps,
Okay.
and like the other person or somebody from online comes and invades you.
But Matt, what's the plot?
The plot would be
I need the plot.
The plot would be you pick a side, rebellion or empire.
Sure.
You go and you start colonizing planets, moons, what have you. And the goal is it's kind of like a galactic conquest from Battlefront, which is a feature in that game.
Sure.
Where you start conquering planets.
Yep.
Yeah. Instead of conquering them, you build bases there and you can invade other people's bases. And you get notifications when other people are invading your base, which you can go and defend.
Okay.
If you are not currently in a battle. And I think it'd be a cool little like expansion of the Galactic Conquest to its own full game.
Okay.
Because as you know, that was just a side piece of Battlefront.
I had
the most fun in Battlefront.
That was the
Galactic
most
Conquest.
fun two-player, right? Because
You could do one or two, yeah.
It was like chess. You'd move here, I'd move here, I'd take this.
I would love to see that expanded upon, and you actually get to make the maps and the bases.
Okay.
I think that would be super.
Is this your joke
enjoyable.
one or is this your real one?
That's my real one.
That's your real one?
I would love to see like a giant version of that.
That would be fun. You know, it'd be fun if you could, and I hate doing this because it's just so like the hot topic button thing right now is like the multiverse. But I guess you don't really need the multiverse for Star Wars because it's all the same.
Yeah, I mean it's just different timelines.
But you would essentially have to have the multiverse now that there's the retcon happened.
Well, I mean, if you want to put Iron Man in there, sure.
No, but I'm saying like, how do we find a way we can get all of the characters together?
Okay.
Like what
wormholes? There you go.
Okay, so let's steal a little bit from
Force.
Studio Demands It, right? So let's say we find a planet that is like the core of it is a pure kyber crystal.
Ooh.
And that's me stealing TC. I'm so sorry. I'm taking a little bit of your juice.
He's a thief. He's a joke thief.
But shout outs to TC, like he's fantastic. But like, what if we use that? What if the untapped potential of the kyber crystal, you know, because it's the source of the lightsaber, right? But
It tells it how far to stop and go.
yeah. But what if like if you got a crystal big enough, you could potentially use it for time travel,
Or as a battery, and then you made rings out of these batteries.
Oh my God! If we're segueing into a Green Lantern game, Matt, I will stop what we're doing right now.
I teed up the ball for you.
And I'm gonna. Well, I mean, I don't have a good history with T-ball. I used to close my eyes, swing as hard as I could, and I always hit the tee, and then it would just kind of like I broke.
I softly kicked the soccer ball. Dude.
I also played with the grass during soccer.
We are not.
Maybe not sport analogies,
Right.
Like any other sports, but
I put the putt in your hand.
Fun story about putt. No, I'm kidding.
Dang.
No, but like I don't know, something to where like it would be fun to muck with the time element of Star Wars.
I would think so. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's all the other spin-offs and franchises do of this thing is they just go to different points in time that are gapped.
Yeah, but like, and not like, wouldn't it be cool to see Rey versus young Luke, but like, what would the interaction of the two be like?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what if Rey got to meet Leia? Or no, she didn't meet Padme. Like, I don't know. Like, it'd be fun to have a story where
you could easily just say like even the crystal like shatters and like all of a sudden there's a big time hole.
Yeah, like I mean, and it's
somebody
Star
from
Wars,
the future goes to the past.
It feels
or
a little Star Trekky for me.
It does feel very Star Trekky.
Because didn't Star Trek do that with Generations?
Oh, they've done it. Just
where
about,
it's like there's a giant black hole riff that sucks in Shatner. But like I plot wise, I would be interested and especially because all the actors and actresses mostly are still alive.
Right.
R.I.P. Princess Leia. But like just to see like Padme and Rey and just see a young Luke and an older Han Solo, you know, like it would just be interesting. I think
Or
there's
a young
something
Yoda
there.
and an old Ben.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be cool.
You know, and I don't know, like a Qui-Gon and an old
Yeah.
like Obi-Wan, you know, just to see those kind of interactions. I'd be down for that. I think you could make a story.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Maybe not a movie, but I think a video game would be prime.
Something
prime
safe
for this.
to,
To where if it's really bad, we can just say it never happened. You know,
And it never happened. Just
again.
like everything
Just
before
like
Phantom
everything.
Menace.
You'll go hang out with Darth Revan.
Yeah.
Just the
And
bench
Malak
waiting to be
and-
relevant.
Darth Malak and Revan never happened.
And I think that could be fun. Like, you know, it starts out at just a little galactic, and then all
Sure.
of a sudden you take over a planet and something happens where it triggers a detonation, which blows up the planet, which had a giant kyber crystal core, which causes a rift that sucks in all these people, and it puts you back in, like, it just sprinkles people through time. It'd be fun, like a what if,
Sure.
like a video game.
Like, what if the Hulk had killed Wolverine?
Like what
Yep.
if? Yeah, I'm down for this. I think that'd be kind
Yeah,
of cool.
no, I think that'd be fine.
Hey, audience, who do you want to see meet each other? Put it in the comments, and then we're gonna ignore it because this is our last episode, so we'll never get to really
That's
answer
right.
it.
And don't forget to put in parentheses their age.
Yeah, exactly. And how much CGI de-aging we'll need to use on them nowadays in order to get them to look what they looked
No
like
kidding.
40 years ago.
Or post-mortem, how we just throw them in there.
So what's your joke game?
Oh, joke game. I would love to actually I would love to see like a Jedi Academy,
Okay.
but instead of like the cool you get to play as a Jedi and fight each other type thing, you're just the you're in the clerical billing department and you have to take care of all the damage done in the rooms.
Okay.
And you have to buy all the little younglings helmets and stuff.
Okay. And then like
It's the bureaucracy of the Jedi
and then it leads
Academy.
all the way up to it's like, man, you did a great job. Day 10. Anakin wants to come see all the younglings.
That's how it ends.
That's how it ends. It's like,
Well,
oh,
the day before, they're like, we found one midichlorian in you. Good job.
ha, we're gonna put you in with the younglings now.
Yeah, and then, oh boy, I
Oh,
finally get to do
boy.
something. And then, yeah.
It's Master Anakin. He's gonna come save us all.
Are you here to hug us?
Why your eyeballs look all weird, Mr. Anakin?
But I was just because, all these games are like hyper action. It'd be hilarious just to see like the opposite, or like somebody who's like a taxi driver type game where like you're going through Bespin or something, just
Mhm.
dropping all these important people off.
Okay, that's good. I like that one. So I'd have to say if I have to make a real game,
Yes.
what? And I know I've already gone on a tangent here, but everyone knows my love for God of War, like that and Ragnarok.
Beautiful series.
gorgeous,
Ragnarok
gorgeous.
is so good.
I'm halfway through it right now, so no spoilers, or I will
Oh.
burn your house down.
Which is why I held my tongue on the Knights of the Republic stuff too, because I know eventually you should play it, and I'm not going to spoil it for
We'll get
you.
around to it.
The plot twists are so good.
We'll get around to it.
So good.
I won't get around to it.
I'll make him do it.
Anyways, so I would love to see a God of War style game with Jason and Janna.
So
Like-
essentially, like a Star Killer type game.
I mean,
That's
little
kind
bit,
of
like
agree.
a little bit. I think a little bit more open world, like God of War is.
Okay,
Like,
so
sort of-
kind of like expanding. By
and it's-
the way, that series is great too.
And it's God, we didn't even
we didn't
mention
even, we didn't even mention it.
what's
That's
that
shame on
called?
us.
Star Wars.
Oh goodness,
Oh
I
my
played through
great-
all of them,
Unleashed.
too. Unleashed.
Yeah, I got it. 10 points.
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed. Damn it, you got it. Okay,
I got
we
it.
got it together. 5-5. 5 and 5.
Beautiful game, very much like God of War. However, yeah, you're right. It was kind of just railroaded.
Yeah, very much. When I really enjoy railroad games. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But
God of War
I
did have more of an open world.
yeah,
type
like you
feel.
can at any point. I can, as long as we're not going between realms. Like I
Right.
can walk all over this entire
Right.
area, which is cool. So that would be cool.
I think that'd be
And, well,
nice.
especially if you keep it based on the books. So like you
Oh,
have your
sure.
interactions with Wibaka, who's over here.
You could even do it Mass Effect style, where you can go planet
Or-
to planet however you want.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of keep it on just Yavin Fring the training.
Really?
Maybe
Okay.
the sequel gets you off planet
Okay.
because you can play as Jason and then switch over to Janna, and each one had their own. I think Janna
Diary.
was.
Oh.
Janna, what was her thing? Oh, I'm so mad that I forgot. Each one had their own like maybe she was the empath.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And I think Jason was the one who could speak to animals, or it was the other way around.
No, I think you're right.
I don't. I'm so sorry, Alex Drury. And Matt Hubin. I know they're both like, idiot.
I'm going
This
to look it up
person can
right
do
now.
Because I know Anakin was their youngest.
Right.
And he was always with mom and dad because he was so young, but he was
Yeah, they all
taught,
had
like,
their own special
he
talent.
was the one who was like super good with mechanics, just like Anakin,
And
Darth
Rey.
Vader was.
And Ray Palpatine.
And Rey. Was she good with mechanics?
Are you kidding me? She literally flew.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's
everything.
right.
She knew how to fix everything and fly everything better than everybody.
Well, she was the best.
She
Hands
knew
down,
sh-
the best.
She's the best.
Remember when she told her trainer, she's like, I don't need you anymore. But then again, so did Luke. He kind of said the same thing.
Do you
to
remember
Yoda.
when she healed that weird snake thing?
Remember
With
when
that-
she learned Force Lightning?
all these extraordinary powers that only like super masters know?
Remember when she instantly knew how to mind control somebody, even though she had, I don't think, ever seen anyone do it up to that point?
Do you remember when they said her parents were going to be nobodies? And then they were
Well,
like,
that's J.J. Abrams in the mystery box. And if you don't, there's a TED Talk where J.J.
So
Abrams talks
stupid.
about a mystery box. So please go watch that and you'll figure out his writing style is sometimes it pays off and sometimes you can kind of catch people
I mean, I can't blame them
writing
too
an
much.
open story and they're like, oh, I mean, look at Lost. Like, you
Oh,
can't
boy.
tell me that like they wrote a
No.
whole bunch of open-ended things and said like, yeah, when we get to the later seasons, we'll figure it out and it'll be fine.
I seriously think they just had like one of those circus dartboard things they spun around and they just wrote a bunch
So
of
like-
random
like a-
stuff. Yeah. And they just threw darts and whatever hit. There
or
we
they
go.
just plinko boarded it,
Yep.
just drop it. And this person's gonna be a dook, dook, dook,
Or do you remember like the betting board on Cabin in the Woods?
the
that
betting
horror
board?
movie
Oh
where
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, who's betting on that? Like they just have one of those giant boards, but instead of bets, they all just they voted. They all just wrote votes in a ballot box, and they're just like, "Here we go. What are we doing? Polar bears." Like,
Polar bears. Oh yeah,
Lost,
for Lost. Hey, I'm a Lost fanatic, so I'll talk about Lost till the end of days. It's
don't know.
not about the island; it's about the people.
Lost is
okay?
like somebody got lost in that little tree in
It's
Dagobah.
not about the island. I don't care about the stupid cork thing. It is the connections that they made with each other and the journey that they went through.
That was probably the best sentence I've heard you say
The
all night.
only
The cork
terrible thing about Lost was Kate.
Kate was the best.
Kate's the worst. And any Lost fanatics out there should agree. Just Kate's the worst. Ugh, Kate.
I would love to see like the ending of
Like-
Lost. They just come out of that tree in Dagobah, and it was just all in there the whole
It's
time.
literally so bad. It's hard for me to enjoy Ant-Man and Wasp because
Why?
she plays the
Oh,
Wasp.
that's right.
And it's like Joffrey.
Yeah.
Like you just hate him so much
he did such a good job.
that like if you see him in anything else, you're like, oh, I hate that guy. Like and they did just a great job. And like Kate was written to be like that.
Oh, sure,
Like she
yeah.
was like, and so please, Evangeline Lilly, like don't think I would.
No, I
burn
mean
your
she
house
did a
down.
great job.
But like I can't. It's so hard for me to separate her from Kate because I'm like, don't do it, Paul Rudd. Don't trust her.
Don't do it.
Oh, they gave her the wasp suit. She's gonna get captured pretty soon and
Yeah.
ruin everything for everyone. Anyways,
Just don't let
Star
her near
Wars
Hank
is a
Pym.
pretty cool franchise we should keep talking about. But I would
It's
know.
absolutely.
I would love to see a God of War style where you have the trees that build upon each
Sure.
person's specialty, and just
Oh,
being
like
able
skill
to
trees, yeah.
explore into the forest. Because I think I would like a game where like forest exploring feels not so path based.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to hack at the trees. Like, and I feel like we're in a time now with our video games where it's like it should remember. So you ever like playing games where you can look behind you and if you're in sand or snow and they don't
Oh, you
do
can see like the trail.
and they don't do that like after so many feet, it
Yeah.
covers it back up with snow behind you. Like God of War is one of those games where you can run and make a figure 8 all the way up and you look back and it takes a while. It will eventually cover it up, but it keeps your tracks
Right.
for a very long time. And
And I
would
think
love
they need to play more with the environment. I
and
agree.
you know, and just like so, if Luke tells these people go out into the woods and go out into the forest and get some collect whatever, because every level's got to have the go collect. Like it'd be cool to see. I think it's Yavin 4. Is that they're on? Is that where Luke's?
I think so.
I think it's Yavin, maybe a moon of Yavin 4, something of that degree. Just a real like explorative into nature, and then you have to like become attuned with the force of nature, and I'm sure they would find a mechanic to.
Yeah.
like,
There's
you
all
know,
sorts of things you could probably do.
But just something like that really just shows how expansive that book series could be. Like,
so you're saying like a super upgraded version of like Force Unleashed.
I would say not as railroady.
That's what I
based
mean,
off
like
the
more-
books. Graphics are very akin to the new God of War's play style, where like you can have blasters if you want to. You
Right.
can have, and that'd be the akin to like Atreus's archery, but or so you have the lightsaber. What kind of lightsaber do you want? And that's a lot like I'm actually kind of describing the Force Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Like it very much is that's the game I want, only remove the stuff I didn't like and put in the plot.
Get
and
rid
the
of that stupid
characters.
frog.
You put it, yep. And then put in the story of Jason and Jaina in Young Jedi Knights.
Oh, I mean, we could, but that's not canon anymore.
I know,
Same
right?
with Force
Ugh,
Unleashed. That's not canon
God.
either.
Is it?
Starkiller's not.
Is he not? I mean,
Nope.
technically he's.
Not
I know
canon.
that. I know they said everything pre.
Never happened.
Really? Never happened. That's okay. You never know. That could be real. Did they officially
I'm
say?
pretty sure Disney said no. It's not canon.
Really?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay, we'll do your thing.
Beep,
we'll
boop,
just
beep,
we'll
boop.
sit here patiently.
Woo,
while Matt
whistle,
gets on his
woo,
phone.
woo. Damn,
So,
make some more
guys.
robot noises.
Hey, Matt's really been mean to me about like my terrible robot noises.
We tried to do an intro with Dan doing, and it didn't work out so well.
Like,
Why do you keep going back to Mario?
because it's not Mario's like.
I mean, that is pretty close.
Okay, that sounds like Mario underwater being electrocuted. You're right.
You
Like,
know
that's
another
not really
thing
great.
about Star Wars I wish they'd stop doing?
Oof.
Desert planets.
Oh God!
Enough.
But you know what? Okay, hey,
Enough.
let's be fair. Let's not attack just Star Wars for this, because you know who else is terrible with this?
Oh,
Blizzard, the video game company.
by the way, not canon.
Yeah, gross. But like, do you remember playing Diablo 3 and going, I can't wait to go to brand new areas? And it's like
man.
the swamp level,
Yeah.
the
They like did them
desert
verbatim,
level,
yeah.
the mountainous level, and you're like, guys,
verbatim.
my God, like
Minus
there
the
are
order, obviously.
more ecosystems out there other
Yeah.
than desert, snow. Like it wasn't even
Pick a different biome.
like they didn't even try.
No.
Like it's like this is called Loot Lane. Like
Yeah.
it's like, all right, guys, like
Okay.
we're just gonna try a little.
Oh, and then we
harder.
went to Heaven and Hell in the last two areas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
But oh God, remember in Diablo 2 you're playing and all of a sudden you do the like, and I know we mentioned this on the show, the ethereal
Diablo.
like what was it
The what?
the sanctum, the ethereal sanctum,
Oh yeah,
or,
something like that. Yeah.
and you're just like in space. All of a sudden you're in the middle of space
I know what you're talking about.
on
Yeah.
sidewalks in the middle of. You're like,
that was in the desert. Luke Ghislaine. It
Yeah.
was like the mages.
yeah,
area.
you had to like you stepped into a portal and it's like
Wee, woo, woo, woo.
sidewalk space.
Yeah, it turned into Tron real quick, and I'm like,
I
okay.
loved it. I love
No,
that part.
It was fine. I was just
Ugh.
like, yeah, okay, here we are.
I loved it. It was cool.
Beautiful.
All right.
Actually, that'd be a really cool Star Wars thing too.
What?
Make it like Diablo style.
Okay.
You pick a class, you make it like an RPG type thing. I'd be down for that.
Like a Dungeons and Dragons style.
Hell
like,
yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, there's not many dungeon. What are
They'd be
those called?
ships. You just go to different ships.
I mean, there's not many dungeon crawlers in the Star Wars world. Is
you
there?
know, I don't think there are.
But like, what dungeons do you bring in? Like, how?
You could easily do spaceships, like I said. You could do bars. You could do bases. You could
Okay,
do.
I guess bases would
yeah.
kind of work.
There's all sorts of things you could do.
Okay.
Bunkers,
I don't know. I don't-
academy, clerical
I'm not
offices.
a clerical office. I'm not sure that this
The
is the
Senate.
right way to go. I mean, maybe if you like instead of going down, you went up, and you're on like Coruscant.
Dan.
And, like there's a whole bunch of buildings.
Yeah, but I just got an epiphany for another game.
Throw it at me.
What if we, for
Let's
one
do
of the
it.
games, playing upon my bureaucracy idea,
Okay.
what if you played as a Gungan diplomat and you had to go
You
between?
meant I'm already out.
Oh,
I'm out.
what if you had to go between the Gungan city and that and make up for all of Jar Jar's mistakes?
Oh God.
You had to play the cleanup. You're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the ambassador. He should have never said anything.
How was Jar Jar like perceived in the Clone Wars? Did he get any more street cred at all?
I want It's been a while since I've seen.
Because
him,
in
but
the
I remember
movies, like Episode 1, he's the most annoying character.
Event-
Episode 2, he's like,
he kind of just sits in the Senate after
yeah,
that.
like, and I think by 3, or
Yeah.
it would be by 3, he's almost a cameo, and I think he's
Yeah.
like, Misa,
I think that's what he does
something, and then he's just
yeah.
done. Like
I
I
think
think
that's what
they
they do in
learned their
Clone Wars
lesson.
too,
And
yeah.
like, caught him as much as possible.
Well, because he was just so annoying. And he was just dumb.
Did he
was
get
like-
a
he's like
girlfriend or
Chris-
something? Like, I think
Yeah, I think eventually. He's like Chris Hemsworth from the new Ghostbuster, or the second newest Ghostbusters, where he's just a
didn't happen. Move on.
He's just a fart joke.
Didn't happen. Move on. No, we sit in silence. Everyone just kind of glare. No, we've already talked about that Ghostbusters. I just think it was miscast and misdirected.
Well, but just him, Chris Hemsworth and Jar Jar Binks, and Chris Hemsworth in that movie, they could be interchangeable. They both just did stupid slapstick nothing.
Remember when Chris Hemsworth was so stupid he didn't understand the concept of glass?
Oh, yeah.
Just-
It reminds me of Jar Jar eating that apple and almost choking.
Okay. It's like, yeah. Anyways.
Exactly. Do you see what I mean?
I think we should talk about Star Wars.
Okay.
I think we should talk.
All of it?
Just some of it.
So, Dan, how do you feel about midichlorians?
I don't hate them as much as everyone does.
It
but
just takes away the fun.
I mean, they had.
Couldn't you just chug the bacteria?
I don't know, but that's just it because they didn't. The problem is outside of episode 1, I don't think they've ever really touched base about it at all.
They kind of just stopped talking about it.
So it's like I think we just need some either like a Disney's like TV show or something all about the midichlorians, and I think you could really answer some questions like. If somebody injects themselves with midichlorians, they would revolt. They could revolt. Or it's like it's a disease. What about that? So like, there we go.
To it, yeah.
So like, people are trying to inject themselves with midichlorians, and they find out that it actually can kill the person because like blah 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 because science and stuff, space science.
Yeah, because essentially, just like looking up the lore of the midichlorian real quick. Yeah, it's all they really have. Is like it's like a parasitic life form. Almost.
It's a parasitic,
symbiotic.
Okay,
Sorry,
I was like
symbiotic.
parasitic seems a little dramatic,
but it's like you could just it's a microscopic organism like an amoeba. You could just chug a bunch, and couldn't you just get more power that way?
I don't think so. But see,
you
then
say
let's make that game. Then let's make the game that like talks about it,
right? Because like people always bring up the argument too. Well, Darth Vader lost a lot of limbs and stuff. Shouldn't he be less powerful in the Force then? And I can't dispute that, because of the midichlorian thing.
But I think it's the density of the midichlorians in the amount of blood, not the amount.
Maybe all the midichlorians, since they are life forms, just scurried up his shoulder real quick.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what if it's the amount per ounce, not the
or like per square foot.
Yeah, so like even if he only had one hand left, the density of midichlorians in his hand. Damn. That's where the power.
We have a game where the villain literally goes around to Jedi and Sith, and he acts like a normal dude, and he's like, "What are you doing? I'm going to give you a bath."
I love this game already. His where a guy runs around trying to bathe Sith and Jedi. Matt, you have all of my attention and all of my money. He's like, I have a new robe for you, and it's like fluffy. There's like rubber duckies on it and stuff.
So this guy, girl, alien, what have you? This creature goes around.
Creeper.
This creeper goes around. And like does various things
take a shower with me?
Exactly. But instead of like actually bathing him, he's just like slowly peeling off the midichlorians on him or sucking them out of him.
Could you see Qui-Gon? That's an awfully coarse sponge that you have there.
Oh no, it's really good for exfoliating.
And he's like rubbing it on his skin. He's like, one for you, one for me.
Or he just walks up behind somebody and just starts licking their neck. What are you doing? Knock it off. Nothing.
This is gross.
But then at the end of the game, you're like, who's that creeper? And you see him every once in a while, and it's like, he's a joke character. But turns out he's the big baddie at the end because he has all the midichlorians now. And he's a super, super Sith thing.
What if you find out that like he's not even trying to, they're like, the whole time you think he's trying to like implant it into himself. And they're like, well, it's useless even if you like, because there's no way you can take that DNA and splice it with your own. And, because we can make up the lore because it's fine. But then you find out that like he has no intention of ever splicing it to him. He's splicing it all together. So it's like this DNA blob that's like half Palpatine, half Qui-Gon.
Well, it's got to be Palpatine because he always keeps coming back.
I mean, oh God. Remember the intro crawl? Palpatine's back!
Palpatine's back!
I was like, what?
It's the year 2075.
The year is XX93 question mark hashtag.
Dan and I are old and in our nursing homes, and Palpatine comes back in episode
Palpatine returns
23.
Again. Good Lord.
The Force wakes back up.
Wouldn't it be great if the whole, like, Rey just does a 23andMe at the very end of the first episode. It's like, you're a Palpatine. She's like, well, crap.
Really?
This ruins the entire thing. How 23andMe ruined the Star Wars franchise.
That reminds me of that scene at the very end of that movie, too. Like, there's just this random lady in the desert, and she goes, "Who are you?"
Oh yeah.
I was like, "What? What are you
Who
doing?"
are you?
I'm like, first of all, rude.
I don't owe you
Yeah.
anything, ma'am.
She could. You're just yelling at random people that you find in the desert,
and then
you just showed up out of nowhere.
the internet's hysterical, right? Have you seen the one where it's like Anakin? The memes are all over Anakin hates sand, right? I hate sand, and then like the last thing she does is bury his lightsaber in sand. He's like, no. Like,
That is beautiful.
I love the internet.
It's poetic.
That's where we are right now.
The
We're
interwebs.
on the
People.
internets. All right, Matt. Is there anything else you want to say about Star Wars?
No, I think we covered a lot of good bases and ground. I think it was a good, a sad farewell for our final episode.
It is.
Sad time, but otherwise, good.
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. Well,
We had some laughs. We had some cries.
what was your favorite episode?
Oh, that is so hard.
When's the last time you listened to any of our episodes, Matt?
That is so long ago.
Hey, I'm a creator.
I'm a creator, not a listener.
Once I'm done, I'm
Actually,
done.
I will say my favorite intro we did was the Mario Courtroom.
Do you like that one?
I thought it was just funny.
You know what? I have to say, I think my favorite, I think a game changer was when you did Borderlands, when you did your, what's his name? So, you want to hear a story about two nerds sitting in a
Marcus, yeah.
basement talking about nerd stuff. Like,
That was fun.
I think once you did that, I was like, oh my gosh, we can do some fun with these intros.
But just you doing the Bowser though.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I still like, out of all the video games we've created,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
which one would you want to play?
Ooh,
I know,
man.
I know you're gonna miss some, of course, but were there any that stuck out for you?
Not in particular. I kind of liked a lot. I always liked our ideas.
Yeah,
Like
I think
all of them, I feel like would be great to.
It was a
purchase.
joke one, but I still think the Arkham Asylum Papers, Please,
Oh yeah,
would be
really great.
just so
It'd
fun.
just be such a fun cameo game.
Oh, because especially if you're a nerd, you'd be like Harley Quinn or like.
See, that's
like
the thing.
Nope, that's not how you spell her name or
I
something
have
like
such
that.
an
You know?
eclectic taste of video games and random things. Like, I would love a lot of our ideas. Like,
Yep.
especially the joke ones.
Yep. Oh yeah. And also, I think not steampunk Mega Man, but like in the future, where
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
post-apocalyptic Mega Man, where it's like Mad Max
Yep.
instead, because it's always so high tech and so shiny. Like, let's bare bones it. Let's really
let's
scuff
make it
it
more
up.
junky.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That would be really nice.
Gosh,
Mega Man's always a right place to make new games.
the Marvel episode where we wanted to make the X-Men game.
Yep.
That was like Mass Effect.
Oh, that would have been great.
That was a cool one with the Shiite Empire and
Oh yeah.
the
Seriously.
Shitar, Shiite,
Shatari.
Shiitake.
I think it's Shatari.
I think we're right. And the Starjammers.
Chicago.
Gosh.
Because seriously, they never. I think it's the Shi'ar Empire.
But the Shia. Shiar?
Sure.
Or Shi.
Well, sure, John, my shit.
God bless you.
Oh,
Okay.
I took Chinese for like one.
Yeah, I remember. I was proud of you.
But
Man. And so this is just me and Matt sitting back. And everyone, I would like, if you've been listening, just think about of your favorite times. And oh, Matt was being so silly then, wasn't he?
now is the time.
Now is the best time. Now is the best time of your life. Oh, that was cute. All right, guys. I think we're gonna close the book.
I think so. We'll see you in the next season, hopefully.
So I think we're doing movies next year.
I think we are. I think we're gonna jump the boat from video games to movies.
I think
and
what is it like? Fan fiction franchise frenzy.
fan fiction, the film reel,
The film reel. Film school.
film school.
We'll
Something
go
like that.
fan fiction film school.
Put a pin in it. We'll
Yeah,
come
well,
back
we
to
got
it.
time. We got time. I
There's a break.
think I was talking to our producer not that long ago, and I think it's going to be about 2 months. So
Probably.
I think if everything goes, and we'll have to have a couple meetings with David and everything,
Right.
but I think we're probably going to aim, and this could be wrong. We'll probably put out we may have to put out little announcements because we'll have to make teaser trailers for
We'll
them.
make some stuff.
But I
in
want to say
between.
probably February.
Maybe-
February is where we'll probably be coming back, either into June or early February.
maybe if you're good, we'll make a bonus episode.
Oh, well, actually, I don't think we've mentioned this. We have all of the Jack and Daxter episode that we did.
True. Yeah,
Uh,
we do have an extra episode we didn't air,
Yeah, we have episode 0,
and we do have episode
which is
0.
our very first
Very
us sitting
rough.
around.
Yeah.
Like we have no idea what our banter is going to be like coming up with. And I think we did Zelda and Resident Evil just as a
I think so.
spitball
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
We should go back and listen to it because it'd be interesting to see how many things because I remember that's where I got the idea of the snowy
Right.
Like I wanted Resident Evil to be in like, Siberia or something like that.
Spoiler was they had one.
I know, and then I know.
And then I rained on your parade.
Once again, that's actually the
Don't tell
that's
me
the
not
real
to snow,
title.
I'm gonna.
That's the real title. Fan Fiction Season 2. Matt rains on all of my parades.
Well, I have an idea. It sucks.
I want to go back and listen to how many times I was like, I want to play a game like this. And you're like, it's called Final Fantasy whatever.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Matt, we never did Final Fantasy 1 through 10.
Tell you what, we'll make the bonus episode Final Fantasy 1 through 10.
Okay.
There we go.
We got to do it though.
I'm saying it now. We will.
But then this isn't the last episode.
No, well, this is the last episode. So that's the bonus episode.
That's the bonus. So we're going to record an episode, but we're going to tell everyone that we recorded it a long time ago.
You know what?
So it doesn't mess up the timeline.
Just like the plot to the last Star Wars movies, try not to think about them too much. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, just
Or
hey guys,
yeah.
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Or like
We're
what's
having
the
a
answer
good
to
time.
Mystery Science Theater? If you're worried how they breathe, just don't think about it.
Oh yeah, like the very last line. Remember, it's just a TV
it's
show.
just a TV show.
Remember, it's just a TV show.
Do you want content or not?
Yeah. Do you want us to create things for you? Y'all are needy.
You need to be good.
Gosh. What have you given us lately?
Stop asking questions.
Please click like and subscribe. We're so sorry.
Actually,
Oh my
ask
God.
more questions.
Ask more questions. Okay. No, I'm serious. Matt, this has been a blast.
I've had a great time.
We're renewed for season 2. We're gonna take a little hiatus,
Right.
but we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about some films.
And you all get a taste of what we're going to talk about film wise just now on this episode.
Yeah, I think that's why we chose Star Wars.
we
though
dipped a toe in the water.
we knew what we were doing. We had this planned out. We didn't make it the entire thing up as we went along.
No. Who does
Who
that?
does that? And then we'll get back to making our little mid commercials.
Correct.
We kind of dropped off there a little bit in the halfway through mark.
We did.
We did.
We
had some good ones.
There's still some good
Big
commercials.
Purple Leather Daddies.
Big Purple Leather Daddies.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that.
Actually,
one.
that was probably one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorites. Big Purple Leather Daddies.
That was a good one.
And there I am making a Sunday brisket.
You know the rest. We
all
don't
right,
need to
Matt.
repeat it.
If I recall, I think I had the first line of the show. So I think it's only fitting if I give you the last line. So no pressure, but it's all on you. You're saying the outro, you're saying the last line, and this isn't a joke bit. I'm gonna stop recording after this line. So without further ado, everyone, Matt McQueen has one final thing to say to you.
Somebody please help me. Dan hasn't fed me and kept me in the basement this whole time.